As a solo filmmaker, being prepared for anything is essential. And unfortunately, you don't have a crew to bail you out, so if a lens gets dirty or a tripod breaks, the shoot is over. That's why most people solely pack for the shots they want to get, but I think that you should pack also for the emergency that you don't see coming. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the essential gadgets that I bring to every single shoot, and there is also one bonus that is not only used to shoot the videos, but also as a secret reason that has completely changed how I handle clients and make money. I'll show you exactly how it works. But first, let's talk about the bag. So obviously the first gadget we're gonna talk about is the one that contains all the gadgets, and it's the Ulanzi backpack. Now, when you're a one-man show, you're probably like the director, the DP, the production assistant, and everything else. Now, this bag only weighs a few kilos. Now, this might sound like not a lot or actually not essential, but when you're like on 8-hour shoots for a wedding, or for example, I shot an MMA client, a vlog documentary, your back will hurt. So choosing the right backpack and not choosing like a bulky, weighted one is extremely important. Now, this backpack right here, it's waterproof and it has a side access, which is actually a game changer. Maybe I want to swap cameras or change lenses or whatever I want to do. I have this side pocket that lets me access the backpack in a way easier way rather than just throwing it down and opening the big pocket. Now, the second item is probably the most boring one, but also one of the most essential. Before I even think about hitting record, I have to deal with the shot killers. Now, what are those exactly? I'm talking about dust and smudges on your lens. That is why I always carry a rubber air blower, I think it's called like this, and also a dedicated cleaning pad. Now, I'll give you an example. You're shooting, you got the perfect shot, the one that you like tried for hours to get, and you see like a tiny fingerprint or maybe lens it's like not clean. The shot is gone. Because if you want to be a high-end videographer, I think that you need to deliver the best footage possible and avoid these types of situations. That is why I usually give my lens just a quick blast, a few blasts of this. I mean, it's just air, and wipe it before every single setup. Now, I do put my cleaning pad inside this KNF Concept like plastic thingy that I just cut open, simply because I don't really want my cleaning pad to get dirty, because then I'm cleaning the lens with a dirty cleaning pad, and that is not good. Now, I do have a few of these, which means that if I see this one get a little bit too dirty, I will throw it out and I will use a new one. I mean, it is obviously a few dollars that you need to put in this, maybe a month, but it's still the best way to be sure that your lens is extremely clean. I mean, it's just a 5-second habit that saves maybe hours in post-production if you need to clean that up. Now, the third item is the big boy. It's my workhorse, and it's the Sony a6700. This is the perfect hybrid camera for solo work because it is compact, but it still packs like pro features like 10-bit color or S-Log3 and insane autofocus. I like to pair it with the Tamron 17-70 f2.8, and I call this like the lazy filmmaker lens because the focal range is so versatile that I almost never have to swap lenses. I do also use a 10mm lens, which gives me like a really wide view. I don't really like to use it as much. It depends what type of shot obviously I need. Now, there are a few features that I really love about this Tamron lens, but the built-in stabilization, it's honestly mind-blowing. But I would say that the biggest downside would be like if you like to travel, for example, this lens is pretty bulky, and you may want to get, for example, the Sigma 18-50, which still gives you like an extremely nice image and shot. It does not have the built-in stabilization, but still you can work around that, and you do have a lens that is extremely more like portable. Now, boys, we're gonna talk about the system that I created to actually get better with talking with clients, and I like to call it a psychology hack. It actually uses the DJI Mic Mini. Now, before we talk about the trick, I just want to say that I love this microphone. Small, you have a great audio quality, you have 2 microphones inside of the case, and it not only clips, but you also have a magnet on the back side of the microphone, so you can obviously like put it here on the shirt wherever you want, in the position that you want. And also, if you don't have, for example, the money for a shotgun mic, I used to do this back in the day, I like to put my DJI mic like on top of my camera in a way where the magnet basically gets attached to the camera, and you can use this as a shotgun mic. Obviously not incredibly high quality as a shotgun mic. You do still get like the sounds and the ambience of the room, but it still is a good workaround in my opinion. Now, I actually like to bring this little guy to every single shoot, even if I know that I don't need to record the audio, and here's why. I really like to clip it on myself and just store recording my interactions. I usually do like to connect it to my phone via USB-C cable, putting obviously like the receiver on my phone and just start recording the audio. Now, why do I do this? I am honestly like obsessed with the psychology of client work, and I really like to listen back to hear how I explained a shot, or how I handled a difficult situation, or how I negotiated for whatever reason. I would say that it's like rewatching the game film for athletes. Now, this made me, I would say, a better like person, because I know how to handle people really well, but also a better like businessman, which actually means that I get more money in the industry because I know maybe all the psychological workarounds when I talk to clients. Now, I don't have any examples to show you with clients because all my clients do speak Italian, but I mean, you get the picture. Now, boys, finally, we're gonna talk about like one of my favorite things to buy. It is pretty like nerdy, but I do really like to purchase tripods. Now, I don't have any type of affiliation with any of the products I am gonna talk about today, but the K&F Concept tripods, they are just insane. Okay, so obviously when I do like a sit-down interview, for example, and I know that I need a full-size tripod, I bring my K&F Concept tripod. But I really like to always bring my K&F Concept mini tripod, which is like extremely tiny, and I can put it in the side pocket and just forget about it. Now, this obviously is only for emergencies. For example, if the main tripod breaks or fails, or if I need to get like a second angle, like a tight spot, I can throw this out. And it is pretty small when you open it, and you're gonna say like, this is useless, but it does get like a lot taller if I open also the legs right here. It costs just like, I think 50 bucks. I mean, it's a beast. Look at this thing. It's a beast. The build quality, it honestly is insane. I think it's like carbon fiber or something. I mean, it's incredibly durable, and you can obviously close it up and it becomes extremely portable. So I do really like to bring this honestly to every single shoot. Now, boys, we're gonna talk about the favorite thing I like to spend money on. It's probably not the best, but I still spend a lot of energy on it. Showing your work is what builds the credibility and lands the next big contract. Like, for example, what I'm doing here on YouTube, or also what I like to do on my Instagram, for example. I like to show the behind the scenes and how I work, how I'm professional, and trying to get every single shot of you explaining something to the client, for example, or you shooting. It's extremely important for credibility. That's why the first item that I use for BTS content is my Insta360 X4. Now, this thing is absolutely insane because it is a 360 camera, and the fact that it's a 360 camera is that I don't even have to aim it. I just mount it, for example, on this invisible selfie stick. I can put it, for example, on my camera bag mount, and I have like a cameraman on my shoulder, and it's so easy to use that it's a no-brainer for BTS. Also, it shoots in 8K quality, obviously 4K for each camera, so the quality is honestly insane, and you can really use it for BTS. I also really like to use this I would say unique setup where you like jam a bunch of like sweaters inside your bag, or for example some other way to basically try to wedge the invisible stick. You just extend this, you put it inside your backpack, and you get like this third person like GTA shot. You do look like an idiot when you like walk around in the city with this, but it's honestly so cool that I really like to use this shot. Now, the next item I really like to use for BTS is my DJI Action 3. Now, the video quality for this thing is surprisingly high for its size. I usually like to wear it on my chest with a chest mount to grab like the POV of my hands if I need to, for example, example, explain something to you or to my clients. And it is obviously extremely durable. It's an action camera, and you can also vlog on this thing. The quality is really good. So if you want to do like a vlog BTS, for example, of an ad you're doing, you can just throw this out and still vlog with this if, for example, your main camera is occupied. Now, for those extreme situations, for example, when my hands are full, I don't have time to set up my camera mount or my Insta360, I will like to use the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Now, they do look good, but the camera quality, I mean, it's not gonna win you an Oscar, okay? But that's not the point of the glasses. They are like, I would say, like my safety net. If I'm in the middle of a shoot, a high pressure moment, I can't reach for the other gadgets, as I said, this is the perfect way to like at least get some BTS. I don't know if I'm ever gonna use it because again, the quality is not like extremely insane, but I still have a few clips of that moment. Now, I did talk about briefly in this video about the camera that I like to use to shoot, which is a Sony a6700. But if for whatever reason this camera isn't available, I do have a second camera, a backup camera that I really like to use for vlogs, but I also use for clients if I am in a bad situation. I'll leave the link to the video right here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, boys. Ciao, ciao.